Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 3 of the Believe in Action podcast. I'm Michelle West, coach, performer, and founder of Be a Nutrition, and I am here with
Coach Emily.
And Coach Megan.
And around here, we don't just believe in change, we take action to make it happen, because at BIA, we know that initiative plus action equals change. Let's get into it. Hey, coaches, how y'all doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing fine. Back fresh from Vegas, baby. Okay. We are back in New Jersey. We are relaxed. I did not go to the gym this week because my coach wanted me to take a deload week. But guess what? I'm ready to get back. I feel like my deload could be like 3 days. And then I'm like, let me go back to the gym. I'm ready.
That's how I am too.
What did you do with all your free time, Michelle?
I walked.
Oh.
Did more steps, I guess you could say. No, I just focused on more BIA stuff, really, honestly. I was like,
Figured.
Yeah, when you're not going to the gym, then you spend that next hour working. And I was doing a bunch of calls. Like, I had a lot of calls this week for new clients, people coming on. So that was really my time. Honestly, Friday came around so fast. I don't know about y'all, but like this week has flown by. I don't know why.
It did. Yeah.
Sheesh, I be looking at the time and I'm like, why is it already 6 p.m.?
That's crazy.
Because you've been on calls all day.
Literally. So that's my life. Okay, look, Coach Emily, tell me, how was your last 7 days? Everything going good?
Yeah, it's been good. Still trying to navigate the throat issue, but aside from that, I've been trying to get back into the dating world. So I've been talking to someone new as of 3 days. And so far, it's going good. And he literally checks every single box, including the one box that was not checked the last time. So I was like, oh my gosh, there's hope. So we'll see. It's only been 3 days. We're not going to get our hopes up just yet, but so far, so good. So
Emily, what's the box? Now, you can't leave us hanging on not telling us what's the box.
Emotional intelligence and emotional availability. So like when you're feeling a certain way, just kind of saying it in the moment. Like
that's right.
Little I miss you, little, like, oh, I'm having so much fun right now. Like, just kind of being good communication. So
I love it. What's your love language, Emily?
Quality time and acts of service.
Nice. I like that. That's kind of like Matt's. My husband, Matt, by the way, Michelle West's husband, I think he's acts of service for sure. And quality time is there for them. How about you, Coach Megan? What is your love language?
What, gifts. I'm a gift girl.
She's a gifts bitch.
Love that.
Now that I know that, shit, I need to start sending you some stuff so you can keep staying with Be a Nutrition.
It can be the smallest thing, and I will be like so excited over like a pencil.
I'm obsessed. That's funny.
Yeah. That's how I am with acts of service. I'm like, you don't need to buy me an island. It's just like, it's little things like, like, oh, I remembered you really like this chocolate, so I got it for you because you mentioned like, 3 months ago that you liked it and I remembered. It's like when there's that like, oh, I remembered you like this kind of association.
Nice. I like that. Okay. We learning more and more about the coaches every single week.
Yeah.
Wait, Michelle, what's Matt's? Do you know Matt's love language?
Acts of service, number 1, for sure.
Okay.
And I would say quality time is pretty much up there, but acts of service is number 1 for Matt Watson. Like,
nice.
It's like I went to go fill up the car when it was on empty, or I did the dishes when he was sitting there, or I went to Roasted this morning, and I know he likes the crumble, the blueberry crumble cake. And whenever I go to Roasted and I go to Roasted to go be like, oh, we don't have coffee, I'm gonna get them the crumble. So when I came in with my little bag being like, here's your crumble, he said, he was like, ooh. So that's how I keep them going, y'all. Okay.
Yeah. That's great.
That's how I keep them going. All right. So, what is my love language is definitely probably physical touch for sure. And, I don't feel as though that I'm more of an acts of service person. I'm more quality time than anything. So physical touch and quality time are my 2.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is none of us mentioned words of affirmation. And The reason why that's not my favorite one is because it's like actions speak louder than words. So I feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
the other stuff. All of the other stuff is action taking. The rest is just like sweet talking. So you know what I mean? It's like I want the actions. I want the proof because words are nice and all, and I do appreciate a good conversation. But that without the actions to match, I'm like, yeah, no thanks. So
And that's why we are called the Believe in Action podcast. Hello?
yes.
Yes.
I feel like there's a reason. Like, you could tell us you want to lose weight all you want, but are you taking the action to be able to do what you need to do? Because I don't care what you got to say. People tell me at the gym all the time that they want to lose weight, but yet they at the Margarita Monday every single Monday, throwing back the margaritas with the tacos and the chips. I'm like, you don't actually want to lose weight, do you?
Right.
Truth.
Okay. I love that. Come on, Emily. She said, I
Yes.
spotted something.
Yep. His love language is physical touch, and then the same ones in common with me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the most like touchy-feely type of person. I'm
Yeah,
more like I want to get to know you first before we, escalate to that. You know what
for
I
sure.
mean? So yeah, that's kind of my thing with that. But I feel like once I get to know someone, I mean, sure, like bring in all the love languages. So
Yeah, absolutely. Come on. I love that he checks the emotional box. Okay.
yes.
That's great. All right. We won't ask for no names because we don't want to put them on blast on the podcast. Until I see a wedding ring, that's when I'll be like, okay, who's your person now? Who is
Yeah.
going on? Coach Megan, how was your last 7 days? What's going on?
It was good. So yesterday I went out. So random, you guys. I was like a last minute. My girlfriend texted me. It was like, "Hey, do you want to go to this winery thing?" It was like a 7 course, like fancy winery, like
Oh my
for
gosh.
lunch, you guys. I busted out my check-ins in the morning, went
Yes.
to this like 7 course, and I don't drink. So I'm there for the food. And
Sure.
then like came back, busted out more check-ins, but it was like so over the top, like rich, lavish. I was
Oh,
like
excuse me.
living my life yesterday. It was crazy. So I
That
was
is
good.
so
I'm on a
funny.
high.
I
And I
love
didn't have to
that.
pay for it either. That was the best part.
That's on
That's
period. You got rich best friends?
Dude, we live in wine country. So
Oh.
auctions always have winery packages. So
Mm.
everybody gets their winery. Like this is a common invite just
Mhm.
around here. And so, oh yeah, I got this at an auction. Do you want to come? Cool, great. In. Sure.
Work. I'm here for that. So at
Yeah.
the winery, you didn't drink no wine.
I only took like a couple sips of the red. That was
Uh-huh.
it because I can't do it. I'll get migraines. So that
Ooh.
was my cap. And then I was like, I'm good to go.
So
Give me
what?
the food.
So what was the food then? What was the 7 course?
It was like 7 courses. So there was like ahi, there was duck, there was steak, there
Ooh,
was
yum.
like some special cookie. Yeah, it was amazing.
That
Special
sounds so good.
bread. It was bomb. I was
Come on,
happy.
special bread.
Special bread.
cookie.
Come on, special bread. That's what I like to hear, okay? Make those carbs count. All right.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Okay. So my last 7 days was me just coming back from Vegas. I got back on Monday. I did not kill it at the bodybuilding competition. I don't know if I talked about that, but it was not my day. But that is okay. We are just going to get 1% better, and I don't see my competing journey ending anytime soon. We're going to keep going with that, but I have no idea when I'm going to compete again. It's up to my coach, but I did see my new training plan, and I'm ready to get into it. Okay, so we'll start that next week. I will say that I am a big Gordon Ramsay fan, and I have been watching Hell's Kitchen, Next Level Chef. If Gordon Ramsay, if you watching this, I love you. You are my guy. I have been in love with you for years. Okay, so I I love anything that Gordon Ramsay does. I think he is the greatest, and all I wanted was Hell's Kitchen when I went to Vegas, and I made that reservation, and I had my beef Wellington, and let me tell you, and I had my lobster risotto. It was the best thing I ever had.
So
Delicious.
bomb.
Oh my God. And the sticky toffee pudding, huh? That's the best thing I ever ate.
Wow.
Delicious. So
Really?
anybody
Okay.
so good. Yes, delicious. So if you heard it here first, if you go to Vegas and you are a fan of Gordon Ramsay, don't let nobody else tell you, like, don't go to Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. No, you need to go. You need to go. It
On
was
the
delicious.
list.
On the list, okay? Put it on the list. And I got some other restaurants for y'all from Vegas if y'all want to maybe we just have a trip to Vegas.
Yes. Let's do it. That sounds
I'm
fun.
here for
I've
it.
never
Come
been
on.
there.
You never been to Vegas?
No.
Oh, we got to go. Well,
And
we got to
Emily and I
visit Vegas.
both don't drink.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
I don't drink.
I barely drunk that whole time at Vegas. I had 2 alcoholic beverages. One was at the sushi restaurant, and it was like a strawberry spicy margarita, and then I had a bourbon drink at Gordon Ramsay's, which was great. Oh, I did have a espresso martini at the chocolate bar.
That sounds bomb.
That was good. Not gonna lie.
I just want the food. I'm there
Yeah,
for
the
Okay.
food.
Yeah.
I'm here for the food. I love it. We're all coaches, and we're like, we're here for the food.
Yep.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into our topic. Now, our topic is going to be very educational this week. It's really just talking about protein 101. Everybody always asks us as coaches, what does my protein intake needs to be? What is protein? Why do we need protein? Can you overeat protein? All the protein. What is protein? Blah, blah, blah. And the reason why I'm bringing up this topic right now is because I'm running the 5-day Showstopper Shred Challenge. And within that challenge, I cannot tell you, and I'm going to keep it very, very real in this podcast. Y'all know if you don't like real, go ahead and hit the cancel button. Go ahead and hit the next button because I'm keeping it real. We are, as women, because there's pretty much all women in this program, we are so unaware of protein intake. It is insane. I do not know why. I don't know. I feel like we are aware because we hear the word all the time, protein, 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 but I feel like we're unaware about how much protein we need to be eating every single day as women, how important protein intake is. So I kind of wanted to just kind of break it down about like 101 of protein and what we need to know about protein intake in general. So let's start off the conversation about what is protein. What is protein? What is protein? So protein is, I like to think about protein intake as muscle building and muscle sparing. It is the macronutrient that you need to be able to basically keep and sustain muscle tissue. And if we all know about muscle, right, where women get so afraid of building muscle, what they need to understand is actually muscle is the most important organ in your body. It is actually the largest organ. It is not your skin. Muscle is actually the largest organ, and it can grow and it can also shrink. It can atrophy and it also can hypertrophy, right? Those atrophy means it could shrink, it could go away. Hypertrophy means it could grow or it could stay the same, right? So our goal as women, and now that we're learning this more as we continue to evolve as people, is we're starting to understand that protein and muscle sparing and keeping your muscle is the most important thing that you can do as a woman in this society. We need to keep as much muscle tissue as possible because what it's going to do, it is going to help us be strong. It is going to help us live long lives. It's going to help us keep us away from disease and sickness. And it's also going to make our metabolisms as fast as possible because the more muscle that you have, the more calories that you burn by doing absolutely fucking nothing. Okay?
Yes.
Absolutely nothing. So a person who has a higher muscle percentage versus a person who has a higher body fat percentage, these two people who are maybe weigh the same exact weight, right? Let's say a 150-pound woman at 5'4" versus a 150-pound woman at 5'4". One has higher body fat, one has higher muscle percentage. The one who has the higher muscle percentage is going to look vastly different than the one who has higher body fat, okay? And our whole goal here at Be in Nutrition is to try to get your body fat percentage down in a range where it is a healthy body fat percentage and get your muscle percentage up as high as it possibly can as a woman so that you can be able to sustain a lean, functioning, strong body. To be able to do that, you need to do two things. Number one, you need to make sure you're eating protein to be able to spare your muscle, and you need to be getting into the gym and hitting some weights because you can't get stronger unless you train. Okay, so that's kind of like I wanted to give a little bit of a 101 about protein and why it is so important, and then we can go into like the nitty gritty about like what we see for protein, what we want women to do with protein. But I wanted to pass this on to any of you all of like main questions that you hear about protein intake and what we can tackle on in this podcast. So what are the main questions that y'all hear about protein or y'all see about protein intake that you feel as though it's important for women to know? Anybody can tap into this.
I mean, how much protein do you need is the common one. Why, which you kind of already touched on. What's too much? Can I eat too much? Those are the top for sure.
So go ahead, Coach Megan. How much protein should a woman be eating per day?
Here at BIA, 1.8 to 1 gram per pound of body fat of your ideal body weight.
Yes, 0.8.
0.8, thank you.
Sorry, we said 1.8. I was like, whoa, that's a lot.
0.8, thank you.
No, that was good. Yep.
Yeah.
Great. 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per your body weight is what you should be aiming for protein intake. And the reason why we aim for that is because it is a great place for you to be able to keep satiated. It's a great place for you to be able to be in a muscle protein synthesis point. And also, like I said, it really satiation is the main thing, and keeping your muscle tissue as much as possible. Because if you have more protein, if you eat about that around that range of protein, what's going to happen is you're going to feel less hungry throughout the day because it takes the body longer to be able to process protein intake, to digest protein. So we're keeping protein nice and high so that you don't have to feel hungry throughout the day. That's what we want to do. That's what the main source we want to do. So that was a good thing. So I hope we answered that question. At 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein per your body weight. Let me say this also. Let me say this again. Per day. Okay.
Yes, per day.
Per day, because people think that, I should be eating 1 gram of protein per my body weight one time a week. No, per day. So the easiest way that I like to think about like your protein intake, or the easiest way to be able to hit it, right? If we're thinking about body weight. So personally, like when I'm in my off season, I eat 150 grams of protein because I kind of stay around that weight, 150. I probably will be 140 now. And if my coach brings me down to 140 grams of protein, you need to be eating. And hear me loud and clear, everybody. Women, this is not that serious. It's really not that hard. I need to be eating 1.4 pounds of protein, of meat, per day. If I do that, of 100 of that's the easy conversion. I eat 1 pound, 0.4 of protein per day, I will hit 140 grams of protein per day, right? And that is about how much I eat. And when I look at what I'm eating beef, chicken, probably steak, salmon, Greek yogurt. I put a little bit of protein powder in it sometimes. I change it up. I eat shrimp. Sometimes I'll eat pork loin. That's very lean. Lean protein sources. So that's where I'm able to get my protein intake to 140 grams every single day. And honestly, I wish I could eat more protein. I want more. I always am craving protein.
And that's what I tell people too, is once they get used to it, you're gonna start craving it. You have to give your body a little bit of time. Because people like the concept of like, if I eat more protein, I'm gonna feel full. Because a lot of people think carbs and I'll feel full.
Right.
No. Protein and you feel full. Let your body adjust to it. And I promise you will feel so much better.
Facts. Absolutely. So go for that protein intake. And then you said, so we said how much protein, and then you said, can you overindulge in protein? Can you overeat protein? Go ahead and talk about that one.
Your take on it, but for sure, I want to hear what you say, especially with the bodybuilding. Sure, you can have too much, especially if it's getting your calories crazy over, right? Like I'll have clients who I'm like, dang, you got 200 grams and now our calories are way out of whack, right? Now we're eating too much. So we have to talk about that and then bring it back down. Something that comes up too is like if people have kidney problems and they're like,
Sure.
oh, my protein, and that you really have to eat a lot. You'd have to eat a
Yes.
lot to really like and have some serious kidney problems. If you don't, you still need protein. You
Ain't
still need protein.
ain't no woman that I've ever met in my life getting even close to eating 200 grams of protein unless they are a bodybuilder.
Right. Yeah.
Not even close to 200
Bodybuilder
grams.
or overeating. I've seen it with
Yes.
overeating.
Yep.
That's it.
Absolutely. Emily, give us your take about protein and overeating protein or overconsumption of protein. What do you think?
Yeah, so I also first just want to go back to the recommended amount of protein as well, because I do have there's kind of some exceptions with that. So, like, say someone has like 80 to 100 plus pounds to lose, should they
Hmm.
be eating 1 gram of protein, per pound of body weight?
Love it.
In my opinion, no. They should
Yes.
be eating around that much per their ideal body weight or even
Hmm.
lean mass. So usually like when a client signs up and then I'm looking at their initial starting pictures, I can kind of like mentally calculate approximately their lean mass. So
Yep.
that's what I'm basing their protein goal off of. So sometimes it's like, okay, like why should I be eating 140 grams of protein if I'm like 300 plus pounds? And it's because I'm thinking about your lean body mass. And then I'm also thinking about like, satiation. And there could possibly be insulin resistance sometimes. So we'll want to keep carbs on the lower side and then bump
Yep.
protein higher. Another caveat is like, if somebody's used to not eating very much protein, I'm not going to just jump them right up to like
All
their
right.
ideal amount of protein. So like sometimes I'll see like protein is like 25 to 50 grams a day. So it's like even if I think they should be eating 120, I'm not going to just jump them up overnight. Like it's good to kind of, maybe start at 80 and then slowly incrementally go up, as their digestion adjusts. Because if you do it right away, sometimes that can mess with your digestion a little bit.
100%. Absolutely. No, that was a great point to be able to put that in there. Because if a woman is weighing over 300 pounds, ain't no way I'm going to make her eat 300 grams of protein per day. Like, no way. But 150, yeah.
For
Because
sure.
we got about 150 pounds that we need to lose. You know what I mean? So that we can get to that point. And I most of the time when you do see someone who is 300 pounds, 100% they are over consuming too much. It's over consumption of food. And you don't see them really prioritizing protein nor whole foods at all. So we are going to change that plate up immediately so that we are having more balanced plates, all of the things. But yeah, we're not looking for you to eat 300 grams of protein. Like that's just not what we're going to do. But so thank you, Emily. That was a great point. I actually kind of want to pass it over to you again, Emily, with your experience being a vegan eater for 13 years and then also working with our people here. What was your experience with protein intake with being a vegan and then switching over to a meat eating lifestyle? Just wanted to get your thoughts process on that. And also for our pescatarians out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was vegan for 13 years, which is like a very, very long time. And what's funny is when I made the switch going from vegan to eating meat, I actually ate around the same amount of protein, give or take. And what I noticed was that even though not a whole lot of other variables were changing, it was just what I was using to hit my protein. And the first thing I noticed in the gym was my strength like skyrocketed. Like it was really odd. I was like, wait a minute, I'm like deadlifting amounts I never even thought I could hit like, within the next year. And here I am doing it the next week. So, like, I know it sounds like a bit of an exaggeration, but that was literally just my experience. So I was like,
Hmm.
that is very, very interesting. And I noticed that was happening with all of my lifts. Like they just like shot up literally just by adding some eggs into my diet, like crazy. A little bit of eggs, a little
Insane.
salmon, like what crazy. Um, so yeah, that was definitely a big eye opener with that. I also noticed I used to have very bad brain fog as a vegan, and it kind of crept up on me. Like at first, I was like, oh, like maybe it's just because of my period. Oh, maybe it's because I'm in a cut. Maybe it's because I'm a little stressed. I did, like 30 check-ins that day or something. I'm like, okay, like maybe that's why. But then I come to realize I'm like, no, because like I feel that way even on a weekend when I'm just like chilling. So I'm like, I think there's something else to this. So then I changed my diet and like slowly that brain fog started to lift. And I was like, oh my gosh, my mind is so much more clear, so much more sharp. I don't forget what I'm saying in the middle of saying it because I'm like,
Mm.
you don't want that to happen. So that stopped happening. And now I feel like my brain is just a lot more refreshed and rejuvenated, I guess you could say. So that was awesome. My nails, I mean, like these are my actual nails. Like they grow very, very quickly. They're very strong. I used to have like my hair was very brittle. Like I even had noticed some bald spots on the top of my head.
Mhm.
No longer have those because it's been almost a year of
Yeah.
not being vegan anymore. And yeah, my hair,
Crazy. I can't believe it's almost been a year.
I know, and
Wow.
my skin changed too. I used to have like a grayish tint to my skin as a vegan, and I would look in the mirror and I'm like, that I would like just kind of look up close. I'm like, is this premature aging? Like, what's happening? So I was like, that's crazy. I mean, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm like pushing 30, cool, but I was just like, nah, that like why does my skin like look like it's aging more than my mom who is like in her 60s? I'm like, no,
Whoa.
that's not cool. And I think, I think when it's us, we notice it more than other
Sure.
people. And I've had people say they didn't notice it at all, but like you notice it when it's yourself. And so
Right.
when I made the change, I would say within like 4 to 5-ish months, I think my skin just had a brighter appearance to it. And I'm like, oh, I don't really need to put on foundation. I don't really need to like do all this stuff to kind of brighten up my face. I can just like wake up and, just be set for the day. And so yeah, I was just like, wow, that is crazy. And I noticed so many people who are not into their health and fitness are very into beauty products and just caking on the makeup. Like
Yep.
nothing wrong
Hmm.
with makeup. I mean, I like to do my eyebrows and stuff. Love a good mascara, but I notice people are like obsessed with like skincare and all this stuff when they're not focusing on their diet. And for
Ooh,
me,
speak on it, Emily.
I've noticed that
Yes.
ever since I switched to meat, I mean, my skin is just more glowy. So it's like I don't need to put on the glowy powder. It just radiates from within. So
Yo. I have
crazy.
to stop you right here because the
Yeah.
I want us to always be because this brings up two different points. Number one is that when you are, and this is not me knocking anybody who is a vegan or a pescatarian. This is not me knocking y'all. Like, if y'all want to live that life and that's what you want to do, I am okay with it. It's perfectly fine. But the facts are, is that when you start eating meat protein, and this also takes away from like people who are like, well, I'm getting my protein from protein powder. Oh, I'm getting my protein from Greek yogurt. Oh, I'm getting my protein from eggs or anything like that. Like, we're missing the main source, and the main source is those amino acids. And when we
Hmm.
are starting to eat more meat, guess what's coming from it? It's coming. Those fats are coming from that protein intake, right? So now you're adding those fats. Those fats are then trickling down to the cholesterol that you have to have. Like, people are they put cholesterol as, oh well, cholesterol is bad. Actually, people back in the day, their cholesterol was high. We lived in a life where cholesterol was high and it was fine. And now we're saying like, oh, LDL, HDL, blah, blah, blah. Now that's a whole nother tangent. We can go down that tangent on another day. But really, realistically, when you're eating animal based protein, what you're doing is you're adding collagen, you're adding fats that we need. Cholesterol is the top of the hormonal chain. If you do not feed cholesterol, you're not going to feed any other things that are going on with it when it comes to feeding your brain, which is another organ that your body needs meat to be able to do that. You're not giving your body amino acids. If you want to, and I will say this on the podcast, if you want to live a vegan or pescatarian lifestyle, you need to be okay with supplementing, have the money to be able to supplement those amino acids and those omega 6s, omega 3s, so that you can live that lifestyle as well. If you have the money to be able to buy the supplements, right? Which we should not be buying over the counter supplements from CVS. I'm sorry. You can't buy that stuff. You need to buy the good stuff so that you can be able to get the amino acids, all the things that you need, the nutrients you need. And if you're choosing to not get that from meat or food, you got to pay for it. And then now that you can live that lifestyle, and that's perfectly fine. But you are doing yourself more of a service by just getting that from natural chicken, steak, beef, from the grocery store, and you will see that those things will start to change. So I'm not surprised that you actually had glowier skin. I'm not surprised that your nails are growing. That's collagen, that's biotin, all of that stuff that y'all keep buying over the counter and be like, well, let me get this collagen supplement. I'm like, no, how about you just eat some meat? It's very
Exactly.
simple.
Yeah. A lot of people make it so much harder than it has to be because they just want to avoid the meat for various reasons. There's different arguments people have, and
Right.
I had all of them as a vegan, but I realized, it was more unethical to continue being vegan and harming my health and just kind of letting it happen and saying, oh, well, to actually make the opposite choice and do what was best for me. That felt like the most ethical decision because, for a lot of vegans, the argument is, well, it's for the animals. It's for the animals, not me. But it's like, well, shouldn't we do something for ourselves? Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, shouldn't we take care of our health? I mean, we are animals too. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Because if you are in the forest, and me and you if I'm going to be against a tiger, that tiger going to eat me, okay? The tiger ain't going to be like, well, what about the humans?
For real.
They ain't going to say that. They going to be like, look, it's time to eat. It's time to attack.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? Like, come on. You see me around Jersey and I see a deer. Do you think I want to get up and close and personal and be like, how about the deer? No, I walk around that bitch, okay?
Yeah.
I see those antlers and I'd be like, absolutely. Y'all know those geese? Geese are they will attack you, okay?
Yeah, they have them all over my apartment because I live where there's like a pond. And so they're just all over. So I'll be like walking around the pond getting my steps. And like I try to like scoot around the geese because they get all mad. And I'm just like, oh
Yes.
my gosh, like what did I do to you? I'm just trying to get my steps here.
That's right. They're very territorial. And here we are talking about, well, how about the animals? I'm like, come on. That animal is not caring about you. Like when you walk, I just be like, no, I'm not fucking with them. That's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
But no, that is so important. And oh my gosh, we already at 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. But what we need to remember when it comes to protein intake, and what I want to make sure women understand, is that protein is a essential macronutrient. And I think if we just remember that it is essential, and you need to eat protein intake, you need to eat protein because your body doesn't naturally make protein. You need to actually eat it. Once you realize that, you're like, oh, I'm actually doing my body a service when I'm actually eating protein. The non-essential macronutrient is carbohydrates. You don't need carbs to survive. And I think that is one of those things that people don't actually realize, or they don't want to realize it, because we live in such a carbohydrate driven society. And when you have that moment where people are just like, well, we eat too much protein on the society. No, we don't. No, we don't. Our society is actually driven by carbohydrates,
Yep.
not by protein. And there is there's nothing out here going on in the world where farmers are just like, oh, everybody's eating too much protein. No, that's just actually not happening. That's actually not factual. What's happening is we're eating too many carbs. And if we look at the world right now, and we were all a world that if we were over consuming protein, if that was actually happening, no one in this world would be overweight if we were actually over consuming protein.
Truth.
It just won't happen. If you are over consuming carbohydrates, that's where we end up in a world today where people are overweight. They are too big. Fat is accumulating, and that is what it is. So go ahead, Megan, you got something to say.
Yeah, how do you know? How do you know that? You just know. Okay, so that I had something to say.
She was like, I'm itching. Go ahead.
No, the one thing I was gonna say, because you asked like what's the most common question. Another really common question that I get is everybody wants some freaking secret source of protein.
Mhm.
Like they're always like, where else? And I'm like, you guys,
It's the protein pancake, can I could just do protein pancakes all day. Like, it's cool, right?
Right? And that's part of our society, because they're always coming out with some crazy protein chip,
Yep.
like you have to keep it basic. I'm telling you right, there is no secret. It is from your freaking egg whites, your chicken, your turkey. Like there is no secret we are holding back from you all.
No.
That you're going to get this extraordinary amount of protein all of a sudden.
Yes.
So that was my one thought. I had to throw that.
That's facts. Stop letting all of these people tell you that, oh, get your protein from this protein bar. Get your protein from this protein cereal. And you go into the grocery store
Yes.
seeing all this protein stuff and you're like, yeah, this is the way that I'm going to get my protein. Baby girl, what I want you to do is flip the back of that package and look how much protein it is compared to carbohydrates. And I promise you 100% that you will see more carbohydrates in that thing, then you will see protein intake. And what will also happen is I want you to go down, if you're seeing all this protein stuff, the next thing that I want you to look at after you look at the nutrition label, I want you to look at the ingredients. Okay? I want you to look at the ingredients and you're going to see all the list of the ingredients. And if you can't pronounce the things that are going into that food item, you probably should back away from it. Because if you go over to the aisle where there's salmon, chicken, beef, steak, you're going to flip that one over, right? You're going to flip that nutrition label over. And what's going to happen is you're going to see that the nutrition label has high protein, zero carb, fat intake, which we need. And you're going to look at the ingredient list. And what you going to read? Chicken.
That's it.
That's it. It can't be
Yeah.
any more clear. Go ahead, Emily. You got something?
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes people will also say like, okay, but so I know what the protein sources are, but how do I increase my protein intake? And it's like, well,
Yes.
instead of having 50 grams of chicken, have 120 grams.
Correct.
And it's like, but that's so much. That's
No,
such a
it's
big
not.
portion. It's like you have to get used to it though, you know? At first it feels like a lot, but then it's like, okay, this is like nothing.
Y'all, when I put 100 grams of chicken on my plate, I'll be like, can I get 150?
Right. It's like
Right.
nothing now.
It's nothing. I'll be like, can I have 200?
I know. I think people get full off of carbs first. So then they're full off the carbs and then they're like, oh, I don't have the room to eat the protein. It's so much protein. But it's like,
Right.
you should really be focusing on eating the protein. You know, if you're
Right.
not going to clean your plate, like at least eat the full protein.
That's
you know?
right. Absolutely. Put the protein first. Eat that first. And then see that the carbohydrates really what you're really not craving carbohydrates. Let me actually end the podcast with this, because this question came up 2 times in my Super Shred Challenge, Show Shopper Shred Challenge. Michelle, I crave chocolate when I'm on my period. I crave sugar when I'm on my period. What should I do? Eat a steak. How about that? Thank me later. Thank me later. And don't eat chicken. I want you to eat a steak and some beef. Because what are you going to do? You're going to get that iron. You're going to get that magnesium. You're going to get the amino acids. You're going to get that fat intake. That's what your body is craving. I want to end the podcast with this. Your body never craves sugar. Sugar is actually not what it wants. It wants nutrients. And once you start to figure out that your body is actually not craving sugar, it's actually craving nutrients. So you're not craving chocolate. What you're craving is magnesium. What you're craving is nutrients. Okay? So your body needs that. And once you do that, when you're on your period, literally right before you get your period, when you feel like those cravings are coming, I want you to go ahead to the store and get you a filet mignon and go back home, and I want you to cook it. Okay? Medium rare. That's what Gordon Ramsay would say. Medium, a nice medium. Okay? And we're going to eat that. I promise you, all your cravings will go away. Protein.
Yes.
So simple.
Protein.
Protein. I just want to thank everybody for coming to this podcast today and listen to us talk about protein. If you have any questions about protein intake, I want y'all to leave it down in the comments, or what you can do is you can hit us up on Instagram, okay? We haven't shared our Instagrams yet. Let's take the last 2 minutes to share our Instagram. Emily, where can we find you on Instagram?
Yeah, so my Instagram is strong_.mm. Wait a minute.
Do it again.
Okay. strong_m.powered. There we go.
Great. And where can we find you, Coach Megan?
Fit Mama Megan _ on the grams.
Period. And you can find me at Shelly West on Instagram. And if y'all have any questions about protein intake, all you got to do is hit us up on the Instagrams, right? And we will answer your questions general, because I always say, I don't know how much protein you should be eating. I don't know how many carbs you should be eating. I don't know how much fat you should be eating, because you're asking me to look at the engine before I even took the engine into the shop. You're asking me to just look at the car. Okay. I don't know that answer. I could give you a generic thing, and we'll be happy to give you like generic answers. But if you really want to dive in to what your protein intake should be each day, and you want to get to the body that you're looking for, hit us up on Instagram. And then after that, what you're going to do is you're going to join Be a Nutrition. And that's on period. Okay.
Yeah.
Join us here, because we're changing physiques like this all the time. Okay. All of my dancers, ex-dancers, hit us up. All right. This was the best. Protein 101. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much, Coach Megan. Thank you, Coach Emily. And we will come back for episode 4 next week.
I'm going to go eat my protein now.
Me too. I'm hungry.
Yes,
I got salmon.
You got salmon? What you got,
I got salmon.
I am gonna have some chicken.
Me too. I'm eating some chicken. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Until the next one, Bia is out.